Philip, what time do you think you'll be home today?
Let's see, I think I'll be able to get home by around 7 p.m.
You always work so hard. Thank you for everything. All right, I'll get dinner ready.
Oh, please do. Since it's our new condo, I'm really looking forward to coming home.
Make sure you come home safely, okay?
Yeah, I will. By the way, there's something I need to talk to you about.
Oh, what is it?
I've decided to have my sister move into the condo with us.
What?
I'll have her things sent over to the condo, so just make sure you clear out one of the rooms for her.
Wait a second.
You know that area has been designated as a redevelopment zone, right? There are going to be all kinds of new commercial facilities popping up soon. Sammy's really excited about it too.
What on earth are you talking about? Why is Sammy moving in with us?
Well, the thing is, Sammy's getting a divorce. She got kicked out of the house she was living in with her husband.
I get that's a big deal, but
Is there some kind of problem with that?
why would you just decide this first without talking to me?
I mean, I just wanted to help out my family, you know? Besides, I figured you and Sammy would get along fine. I guess I should have run it by you first, though, huh?
Of course you should have. This is the place where we are supposed to live.
But she's my sister. Isn't it normal for family to help each other out? Can't you understand that? Don't treat Sammy like she's some kind of stranger.
I know how much you care about your family. That's one of the things I fell in love with, but this is just too much.
Ah, you're being so damn annoying. I seriously don't get it. Why are you so against this?
Of course I'm against it. We had plans for that spare room.
If it's for the happiness of the family, you do whatever it takes. That's what family is all about.
But
I've already told Sammy she can move in, so it's a done deal. There's no backing out of it now. I can't believe you'd even suggest leaving her out in the cold. You need to cool down and think this through.
Candace, how are you liking the new condo? Oh, Mom, yeah, it's been really great. I'm really glad I bought it. You know, when you suddenly said you were going to buy a condo, I was honestly so shocked. But as long as you're happy, that's what matters. I feel relieved. It seems like I worried you more than I realized, huh? No, it's not that. You've always been the type to follow through on what you decide, no matter what. Even back when you used to talk about how much you wanted to live in a brand new condo, I knew it was something important to you. But it all just happened so quickly, I was afraid you might have been tricked or something. Oh, so that's what you were thinking. I understand. Well, honestly, one of the reasons I went ahead with this is because I wanted to make things easier for you, Mom. Oh, you don't need to worry about that at all. No, I do. You raised me all by yourself as a single mother, and I've always wanted to find a way to repay you for that. That's actually part of why I bought this condo in the first place. I wanted us to live together. What? Oh, is that so? I had no idea. Oh my gosh, I can't believe it. I'm really looking forward to living with you. I was planning on surprising you with the news, but... Oh, is something wrong? Well, actually, it seems like that plan might not be happening after all. Oh no, what's that? It's kind of a long story, but would you be willing to hear me out? Of course, sweetheart. Tell me everything. Candace, when do you think the move will happen? Oh, Sammy, about the move. I need to talk to you about it. What do you mean? Hasn't it already been decided? Well, yes, but... What are you trying to say? I've been getting everything ready for the move. Everything is set from my end. Yes, I know, but suddenly moving in together might not be such a good idea after all. Excuse me? What are you talking about? You know my situation. Yes, I do. I've heard it. I was kicked out of my house after my husband asked for a divorce. Where else am I supposed to go? But can't you just go back to your parents' house? That would be easier, wouldn't it? I'm not going back to that filthy backwater place. I don't belong in some rundown countryside house. I'm more suited for the stylish life in the city, don't you think? Well, I didn't know that's how you felt, but still. Anyway, it's already been decided that we'll live together. I wouldn't push back on this if I were you. Philip is the type who'd do anything for me. He's such a sweet and caring person, you know. Yes, that's true, but... So when exactly are you planning to move? Can you give me a date? Well, I think it will be sometime next month at the earliest. I need time to get things organized first. Next month? Can't you make it any sooner? I'm crashing at a friend's place right now, and I'm really eager to get out of there. No, that's not possible. Why not? Because we have our own things to take care of, and it's not just about you. Ugh, you're really useless, aren't you? And besides, the room you want to use was actually planned for something else. Huh? What are you talking about? I was hoping to let my mom live with us too. What? Seriously? Who cares about some old hag like her? Old hag? That is my mother you're talking about. I couldn't care less. Philip can't stand her either, you know that, right? He told me himself there's no way she's moving in with us. What? Philip said that? That's right. He told me the only reason he's letting me move in is to stop your old hag from moving in. So you can forget about her. I didn't realize that's what it was about. Yep, so my move is happening for sure. Your hag can find somewhere else to live. Maybe a park bench or something. She'll survive, like a cockroach. Are you serious? You're actually saying this? Of course I am. Oh, and by the way, Philip said that too. He said he'd rather take me in than have to deal with your mother living with us. That's the whole point. I see. So that's how it is, huh? Exactly. So like I said, my move is a done deal, and your old lady can go wherever. I understand now. I get exactly what you two have been planning.
Candace, Sammy and her things will be arriving at the condo ahead of me. Make sure to welcome them properly, all right?
Wait, I've got a lot going on right now. I'm really busy, too.
Listen, Sammy's been through a lot because of the divorce. Don't you think it'd be cruel not to greet her properly? Stop thinking only about yourself.
Sorry.
And you know Sammy's not great with housework. Once she moves in, I'm counting on you to handle things around the house, all right? Make sure you take care of her.
What? But I work too, you know. I can barely manage everything just for us as it is.
I don't want to hear any complaints. I'll be joining you once I'm done with work. Until then, make sure the move goes smoothly and dinner's ready by the time I get there. Got it?
Yeah, okay, I understand. Hey, I'm standing right in front of your condo already. Where are you? Hurry up and come greet me. Wait, what? You've already arrived? Of course I'm here. I've been looking forward to this day for ages. By the way, this condo looks pretty nice. I'm impressed. Anyway, I'm waiting at the front entrance, so come down and meet me right now. I'm really sorry, but I'm not actually at that condo right now. Huh? What are you talking about? What are you doing? I'm still busy with some paperwork and other stuff, so... Seriously? You are such a mess. Then just bring me the spare key. I'll go in by myself and make myself comfortable. About that, I'm afraid you won't be able to live there anymore. What? What do you mean? I've already decided to live in a different condo. Wait, what about my stuff? My things? Where am I supposed to go now? Don't worry about it. I've already moved everything, so it's all taken care of. What? I hired movers, and they were able to quickly transport everything to my new place. Honestly, it was such a relief. But why? Why did you go and do something like that without telling me? Because I really didn't want to live with you. Huh? What the hell are you talking about? Why don't you want to live with me? Well, you just showed up out of nowhere expecting me to handle all the housework, and the thought of dealing with that was exhausting. Honestly, maybe that's why your husband didn't want to live with you either. Shut up! Don't act like you know anything about my situation. In any case, I'm not interested in living with someone as demanding and irresponsible as you. You'll need to find your own place to stay. You've got to be kidding me. You really think you can just ditch me like this?
Hey, what's going on here? I heard from Sammy. Did you really move out of that condo?
Yes, that's right. Is there a problem with that?
Well, you should have communicated something like that naturally. You can't just leave people in the dark.
Oh, but you made a unilateral decision to have your sister move in with you, didn't you? Why do I need to report to you about my own decisions? If we're family, you should understand.
Wait a second. Let's talk about this. Can you just tell me where you've moved?
No way. If you want to talk, it can be done through messages.
No way. If you want to talk, it can be done through messages.
Huh? Why is my mother getting involved?
Because I'm going to ask your mother where you are. I'm sure she'll know.
I don't think she'll tell you anything. I've specifically asked her not to share my location.
If I approach her directly, she'll definitely give in and tell me. Plus, I'll make sure to mention all your wrongdoings, which will only tear your relationship apart.
You can't do that. There's no way she'd believe you.
Oh, I definitely can. Once she hears everything you've done, she will absolutely be disappointed in you.
No way that's true.
Anyway, I'm gonna contact your mother. You won't know what's coming your way. I don't care what happens afterward.
Well, that's the last thing I want to hear from you. I'm not afraid of any of this.
Betty, I need to talk to you. It's urgent.
What's wrong?
Candace suddenly moved out.
Oh, really? Oh, looks like she did.
And she didn't even tell us where she's going.
I'm sorry, but I've been told not to share that information.
Betty, please, just listen to what I have to say. There's a chance she might have found another guy.
What?
I have a lot of evidence that she's been spending time with another man. I've been trying so hard to repair our relationship, but to be betrayed like this is just too much. Candace was supposed to live with my sister too, and now I'm completely at a loss. Honestly, I'm really disappointed in Candace. You feel the same way, don't you?
No, not at all.
Huh? Well, why not? She's betrayed her family.
Candace isn't like that. She values family more than anyone else. The reason she bought that condo was so she could live with me. She worked really hard and saved up to make that purchase. Plus, she's been investing and building her assets with the goal of ensuring a comfortable life for both of you in the future. She would talk about it with excitement.
So that's how it is?
You think Candace would cheat? That's ridiculous. You're the one who betrayed her feelings.
I didn't betray her.
Don't joke around. That condo was bought by Candace, and you decided to have her sister move in without even asking her. I've heard you made that decision to prevent her from living with me. Did you think she wouldn't get hurt by that? I will never forgive you for this.
Listen, you don't understand the whole situation. I was just trying to help my family.
Help your family by forcing Candace to accommodate your sister? How does that help? You don't seem to realize how your actions affect others. Candace worked so hard to create a life for herself and to take care of those she loves. And now you've gone and completely disregarded that.
You don't know the full story, Betty. I had my reasons.
Oh, really? What could possibly justify your actions? You think that just because you have some sort of authority as a brother, you can dictate how everyone else lives? It doesn't work that way. You are not the only person who matters here.
I thought we were a family, and families help each other out. I was looking out for everyone.
You call this looking out for everyone? All you've done is create division. You've driven Candace away, and now you're left with nothing but your own selfishness. She deserves to be treated with respect, not as a pawn in your plans.
But Sammy needs a place to live.
And what about Candace? You seem to think it's okay to sacrifice her happiness for your sister's needs. Have you ever considered how this has affected Candace? She has every right to be angry with you. You should have communicated better instead of making unilateral decisions.
I was trying to protect her.
Protect her? By pushing her out? By ignoring her feelings? You have a lot to learn about what it means to truly support someone. You need to own up to your mistakes and understand the consequences of your actions. Only then can you hope to fix this mess.
But it's not fair! Why should I have to deal with this?
Life isn't fair, but that doesn't give you an excuse to act recklessly. You need to take responsibility for your actions and work on mending what you've broken. Otherwise, you're going to lose more than just Candace. You'll lose your entire family.
That bitch, she blocked me.
Did you manage to find out where he is?
You're the one who fed her all those strange ideas.
Well, I just told her the truth, didn't I?
So you really aren't going to tell me where you are, huh?
That's right, of course not.
Fine then. Whether you've moved or whatever, we'll just live in that apartment.
Oh, really? Do you think that's even possible?
It's my apartment. Just because he moved out doesn't mean I can't live there. I'll talk to the building manager. Since I'm the owner's husband, they'll let me in.
Oh, I'm sorry, but you're not the owner's husband anymore.
What do you mean by that?
The owner of that apartment has changed to someone else.
You didn't.
Yes, I sold the apartment.
Hey, don't mess with me!
It seems it was a quite popular property. It sold for a higher price than when I bought it.
What are you so excited about?
Isn't it a happy thing for the family? Shouldn't you be pleased?
Sure, that might be the case, but we're in trouble because of it. I can't just be happy about it.
Anyway, I'm going to live in my new apartment with my mother, so you do whatever you want over there.
Sammy is in a tough spot right now with no place to stay. Don't you feel sorry for her abandoning her like that?
Not at all. Why don't you do something about it? You bought an apartment, so you should let her live there. You're the eldest son, right? Isn't it your duty to protect your family?
You... Wait a minute. I've already understood about my sister. She's an adult, she can manage on her own, but we're a married couple, right? So living together is only natural.
Oh, really? I thought you didn't want to live with your mother. Isn't that what Sammy said?
That's not true. She must have misunderstood something. Your mother will need care as she gets older. It would be better for a man like me to be around during those times, right? You understand that, don't you?
Yeah, that's true.
We're family, so rely on me for anything. Come on, just tell me where the house is. I'll help with the unpacking and everything.
No, I'm good.
What's wrong? Don't you understand what I'm saying?
Of course I do. You're saying we should help each other as family, right?
Exactly! So?
No, you're not needed anymore because you're not family.
What are you talking about?
I already submitted the divorce papers to your family's home, so please fill them out and submit them to the authorities later.
Hey, if you're joking, that's a really bad one. There's no way I could just divorce you.
Why not? You decided to live with my sister without even asking me and tried to prevent my mother from living with you. There's no way I can continue living with someone like that.
No, I'm saying I'll reconsider.
So you're saying we can just go back to how things were? That's not how it works. I've already lost faith in you. I can't live with you anymore. I'll get a divorce and ask for alimony.
Wait a minute, right now.
What? Are you saying you don't have any money?
Huh?
Are you really saying you lost your job and are currently looking for work?
You? Did you know about this?
Of course, I live with you. I figured it out pretty quickly. But since you were keeping quiet, I pretended not to notice. I had no intention of getting a divorce, even if you were unemployed. I've been able to live just fine on my own income, and I have enough savings, so I decided to wait until you told me.
So that's how it was?
Because we're family. Because we're married. It's only natural to help each other. And the reason I married you was that you valued family.
Then you understand how I feel, right? I just wanted to help Sammy. It was for the family.
I'm family too. I'm family too, the one you neglected. My mother, whom you tried to keep from living with you, is family too. You only care about your own relatives, and you didn't think about us at all. You prioritized your own convenience, didn't you?
No, that's not true.
Then why didn't you consult with me even once? We could have worked something out with my mother.
I'm sorry. I was wrong. I'll reflect on it. But now I'm without a job and have no income. Sammy lost her home too, and she has no income as well. I need your help. I'm asking you. This is the time for family to support each other. We can't be fighting like this.
Philip, you keep saying help each other, but that is not it at all.
What?
What you guys are doing is just leeching off others. Please stop. We're already strangers. You and I are no longer connected. If you want to support each other, do it among yourselves as siblings. Don't involve us, and please submit the divorce papers promptly.
Come on, I'm begging you, don't abandon me!
I feel the same way as you.
What do you mean?
I've decided that I will never forgive someone who abandons their family. Mom, how are you? Are you close to getting here? Yeah, just a little longer. The movers said they would deliver the rest of the stuff later. Oh, but it's going to be tough from now on, isn't it? With the divorce and everything going on. Don't worry about me, sweetheart. I'm fine. What I need to focus on doesn't change. I'm just going to do everything I can to protect our family. I know, but it still feels overwhelming. There's so much happening at once. I mean, you've gone through so much with the divorce, and now we're starting fresh. It's like a whole new chapter, but it feels so daunting. Absolutely, and it's completely normal to feel that way. Change can be really hard, especially when it's forced upon us. But think of it this way, it's an opportunity for us to redefine what happiness means for us. We're not just going to survive, we're going to thrive. That's a great way to look at it, Mom. I've been trying to remind myself of that too. It's just sometimes it feels like so many things are up in the air. But I can't help but feel excited about us living together again. I've missed having you around. I've missed you too. It'll be so nice to have you here with me. We'll get to enjoy our time together and we can support each other through this transition. It's a chance for us to really strengthen our bond, don't you think? Yes, I've always loved our time together and now it feels even more special. It's like we're on this new adventure together. We can make new memories and create a happy home. Plus, I think it'll be nice to have a partner in crime when it comes to tackling all the chores and settling in. Exactly. We'll turn this house into our home filled with laughter and love. And whenever we have those moments of feeling overwhelmed, we'll remind each other of our goals and dreams. We'll keep each other grounded. I really believe that, Mom. It makes me feel so much better knowing we're in this together. No matter what happens with the divorce or anything else, we'll have each other's backs. Always. That's what family is for. I've always worked hard to protect you and provide for you, and I'll keep doing that. We'll face any challenges side by side. Thank you, Mom. I really appreciate everything you're doing for us. It means the world to me. And I promise to do my part too. I'll help with unpacking and setting things up as much as I can. Of course, and don't forget to take breaks. It's easy to get caught up in everything and forget to breathe. Let's promise to take some time for ourselves and enjoy the little things, whether it's watching a movie together or going for a walk. Those moments matter. That sounds perfect. I can't wait to start this new chapter with you. Feels like we're finally moving towards something brighter. I've always admired your strength, Mom, and I know that with you by my side, we can get through anything. Thank you, dear. Your words mean so much to me. I've always believed in you, and I know you're capable of great things. Together, we'll create a wonderful life with joy and love, so let's take this step forward, hand in hand. Together, we can do anything. I love you, Mom. I love you too, sweetheart. Let's make this journey a beautiful one. It wasn't long before my divorce from Philip was finalized. The whole experience was surreal. Looking back, I could hardly believe how quickly everything had changed. One moment, we were building our lives together, planning for a future and sharing dreams, and the next, we were signing papers that signified the end of our marriage. It felt like a whirlwind, and the emotional toll was heavy. This wasn't just a legal separation, it was a dismantling of our shared dreams and aspirations. As part of the divorce settlement, Philip was required to pay a hefty amount in alimony. This wasn't just a small sum, it was significant, reflecting the years we had spent together and the sacrifices made along the way. I had invested so much of myself into our relationship, time, energy, love, and now it felt like everything was being unraveled. However, the reality was that Philip had no source of income at the time. He had lost his job a few months before we decided to end our marriage, and this made the financial obligation even more daunting for him. I could only imagine the stress he felt, knowing that he was not only losing me, but also facing a financial burden that he didn't have the means to fulfill. In an attempt to alleviate his situation, Philip sought to move back in with his parents. I could see why he thought this was a good idea. Returning to his family home might provide him with the support and stability he desperately needed. He must have hoped that they would welcome him back, giving him a safe space to regroup and plan his next steps. After all, many people turn to their families during difficult times for assistance and comfort. However, Philip's parents were aware of the circumstances that had led to our divorce. They had seen the toll it took on both of us, and they understood the reasons behind our separation. They knew that Philip had been irresponsible with finances, and they had witnessed the strain on our relationship that it had placed on both of us. This knowledge likely influenced their decision to refuse his request to move back home. I could only imagine how Philip felt in that moment, his own parents rejecting him at such a vulnerable time. It must have been a crushing blow, adding to the sense of failure that was already weighing heavily on his heart. With nowhere to go, both Philip and Sammy found themselves in a precarious position. They were effectively kicked out of their families, forced to confront the reality of their circumstances. It's hard to fathom how overwhelming that must have felt. The comfort of home was stripped away, leaving them to fend for themselves in a world that suddenly felt much harsher. Eventually, they managed to rent an apartment together. While it might have felt liberating at first to have their own space, they soon discovered that living independently came with its own set of challenges. I could imagine the excitement of moving into a new place, the thrill of having a space to call their own, to decorate as they pleased, and to create new memories. However, that excitement quickly faded when the reality of financial responsibilities set in. Without stable jobs and a reliable income, they struggled to make ends meet. The transition to adulthood is often accompanied by financial responsibilities, and it was no different for Philip and Sammy. Managing rent, utilities, groceries, and other expenses can be overwhelming, especially when one is not prepared for it. The stress of living paycheck to paycheck can take a toll on anyone, and it was evident that Philip and Sammy were feeling the strain. Tension between them likely escalated as they navigated the pressures of adult life. When two people are thrust into challenging situations without adequate support, their differences can become magnified, leading to conflicts that can strain even the strongest of bonds. It was during this time that I learned that Sammy had also finalized her divorce around the same period as us. While I had my own struggles, I felt a sense of relief knowing that I wasn't alone in facing the challenges of divorce. Sammy's situation, however, was far more complicated than mine. It turned out that her ex-husband had demanded a significant amount in alimony, placing her in a precarious financial position as well. The burden of financial obligations was something we both shared, but the reasons for our separations were vastly different. Sammy's divorce was reportedly rooted in infidelity. I could only imagine the emotional turmoil that accompanied such a revelation. The pain of betrayal cuts deep, and it's often accompanied by a whirlwind of conflicting emotions. I felt for her, understanding that this was not an easy journey for anyone involved. The realization that your partner has been unfaithful is devastating, and the fallout can affect every aspect of one's life. Infidelity shakes the very foundation of trust that relationships are built upon, leaving behind a landscape of hurt and confusion. As if the situation couldn't get worse, I soon learned that Sammy's infidelity was with a host, a person who likely captivated her attention with charm and allure. This relationship was more than just a fleeting mistake. It became a source of significant strife in her life. Not only did her actions lead to the end of her marriage, but they also triggered a series of financial issues that would haunt her for some time. Sammy became embroiled in a pattern of behavior that often accompanies infidelity, financial recklessness. She began to pour a considerable amount of money into her relationship with the host, thinking that this would somehow fill the void left by her marriage. This was a classic example of seeking validation and fulfillment through unhealthy means. In the quest for emotional satisfaction, she found herself spiraling into debt, which was soon revealed to be a significant burden. The situation escalated when it became clear that Sammy had accumulated debts that were now unmanageable. Loan sharks began to appear in her life, knocking at her door and demanding payment. The pressure must have felt unsurmountable, and I could only imagine the fear and anxiety that accompanied their visits. When you find yourself in such a precarious position, the threat of violence or intimidation becomes all too real. I could visualize the moments when Sammy would hear a knock at the door, her heart racing as she braced herself for another confrontation with a relentless collector. The weight of her decisions pressed heavily upon her shoulders. As the debt collectors continued to harass her, both Philip and Sammy realized that they could no longer return to their apartment. It had become a toxic environment, a constant reminder of their failures and the chaos that had enveloped them. They were left with no choice but to confront the harsh reality of their situation, and it was clear that they were struggling to cope. Leaving the apartment likely felt like escaping from a cage, but the freedom came with its own uncertainties. With nowhere to turn, tensions mounted between Philip and Sammy. The challenges they faced became a breeding ground for resentment and frustration. They were dealing not only with their financial struggles, but also with the emotional fallout of their respective divorces. The blame game can be a dangerous cycle. When two people are in a challenging situation, it's easy to start pointing fingers. If only you had handled things differently, one might say, igniting further conflict. Eventually, Philip made the difficult decision to cut ties with Sammy altogether. He felt that this was necessary for his own well-being, and I could understand why. Sometimes removing toxic relationships from your life is essential for healing and moving forward. It can be a painful but necessary step towards reclaiming one's happiness. While Philip sought to distance himself from the chaos, his life continued to be plagued by difficulties. He struggled to find stable employment, a crucial step for rebuilding his life. Without a steady income, he faced an uphill battle in managing his finances and regaining control over his situation. The job market can be unforgiving, especially for someone coming out of a tumultuous period like divorce. Many employers may have viewed his past as a red flag, making it all the more challenging for him to find suitable work. The stigma of divorce can often overshadow an individual's abilities, leaving them feeling trapped and hopeless. During this time, Philip took on various part-time jobs, but the income was far from sufficient to support himself. He might have worked late shifts at a local convenience store, or perhaps he took on an odd job that came with little security or benefits. The frustration of living paycheck to paycheck must have been overwhelming. As bills piled up and responsibilities mounted, he likely felt trapped in a vicious cycle that seemed impossible to escape. The stress of financial instability can have a profound effect on one's mental health, and I worried about how Philip was coping with the emotional weight of his situation. In his desperation, Philip turned to loan sharks for quick cash. This decision was likely born out of necessity rather than choice. When faced with immediate financial pressure, some people may feel compelled to seek out any means necessary to get by, even if it involves risky behavior. Unfortunately, this would prove to be a catastrophic mistake. The world of loan sharks is rife with danger and manipulation, and once you find yourself entangled in it, escaping can be incredibly difficult. The pressure of owing money to such individuals can lead to a spiral of despair, as they often resort to intimidation and threats to ensure repayment. As Philip fell deeper into debt, he began to seek solace in gambling. I could see how this might have appeared to him as a viable escape, a way to turn his luck around and solve his financial woes. The allure of quick wins and the thrill of risk can be intoxicating, but it also comes with its own set of consequences. Gambling can quickly lead to more significant problems, and I feared that Philip was heading down a path from which he might not be able to return. Gambling often creates a false sense of hope, a belief that one big win could erase all the troubles. Philip might have thought that if he just played a little longer or placed one more bet, everything would change for the better. But in reality, the odds were stacked against him. The more he gambled, the more he lost, creating a cycle of debt that spiraled out of control. I felt a sense of helplessness watching him struggle with these issues, knowing that he was trying to find a way out but was only digging himself deeper into a pit of despair. While Philip grappled with his situation, I focused on rebuilding my life. I found happiness living with my mother. The comfort of family provided a sense of security that I hadn't realized I needed. After the tumultuous period of my divorce, having someone to share my life with who understood my struggles and joys was invaluable. My mother took on the role of support in ways that allowed me to focus on my career. I had secured a job that provided me with financial independence, and with my mother's help at home, I was able to dedicate myself fully to my work. Her willingness to manage household responsibilities gave me the freedom to excel in my career. It wasn't just about sharing space, it was about mutual support and understanding. We created a nurturing environment that fostered growth and happiness. I could invest my energy into my work, knowing that my personal life was stable. The bond we shared only deepened during this time, and I found joy in our daily interactions. We would often share meals together, enjoy our favorite shows, or simply sit and talk about our day. These moments were precious, grounding me in the midst of life's challenges. The support system I had established with my mother played a crucial role in my personal development. I found myself thriving in my job, gaining confidence, and achieving milestones I had once only dreamed of. The work I was doing was fulfilling, and I poured my heart into it. I realized that I was not just rebuilding my career, I was also rebuilding my identity. I learned to set goals, pursue my passions, and embrace new opportunities. Each day presented a chance to learn and grow, and I was determined to make the most of it. Reflecting on the contrast between my situation and Philip's, I felt a mixture of sadness and determination. I could see how easy it was for someone to fall into despair when faced with overwhelming challenges. I wanted to reach out to Philip to offer him the support that he needed, but I knew that he was at a point in his life where he had to find his own way. Sometimes people must hit rock bottom before they can rise again. I hoped that he would eventually recognize the need for change and seek help. Despite the pain of our past, I refused to let it define me. I was committed to living a life of purpose and joy, filled by the lessons I had learned. My experiences had taught me the importance of resilience and the power of personal growth. I understood that life would always present challenges, but I was ready to face them head-on, armed with the knowledge that I could overcome obstacles with the support of my loved ones. As I continued on this journey, I held on to hope for Philip. I believed that with the right support and mindset, he could find his way back to stability. The road would be long and difficult, but I had faith that he possessed the strength within him to navigate through the storm. Each person's journey is unique, and sometimes the hardest battles lead to the most profound transformations. In the meantime, I focused on nurturing my own happiness. I reveled in the stability I had created with my mother, cherishing every moment we spent together. Our bond became a source of strength, reminding me of the importance of family and love. I committed to being the best version of myself, not just for me, but also in honor of the lessons I had learned from my past relationships. I resolved to continue pursuing personal growth, seeking fulfillment in my work and relationships. I envisioned a future filled with love, joy, and purpose, a future where I could make a positive impact on the lives of those around me. With each step I took, I moved closer to realizing that vision. Life is a journey, and I was determined to make it one worth living. I recognized the value of maintaining healthy relationships and surrounding myself with people who uplifted and supported me. I prioritized my friendships, fostering connections that inspired me to do better. Together, we celebrated our successes and supported one another through our struggles. In doing so, I found a renewed sense of belonging and purpose. Ultimately, the lessons I learned from my experiences with Philip and Sammy became an integral part of my growth. They served as reminders of the choices we make and the paths we take. I felt grateful for the stability I had found with my mother, and I held on to the hope that one day, Philip would also find his way back to a life filled with love, support, and purpose. As I looked towards the future, I felt a sense of excitement and anticipation. The challenges I faced had shaped me into the person I was today. And I was ready to embrace whatever lay ahead. Each passing day was an opportunity to grow, learn, and create a life filled with hope and joy. Life is indeed filled with uncertainties, but I was determined to approach it with the courage and an open heart. I carried with me the lessons learned from the past, understanding that they would guide me on my journey. My commitment to growth and happiness remained unwavering, and I was ready to face the future, hand in hand with my mother and the love that surrounded me.